My wife will be happy.
There we go. Ready to go.
All righty. Well, welcome, everybody. I'm so excited for this morning for all of us, and for you. There's so much activity that's occurring in our team, and for those of you who may have not seen on Zoom yet, and hopefully in person soon, particularly in St. Louis in the next few weeks. My name is Ken Burke, and my wife and I are SPDs in this amazing organization. We just came in 19 months ago, really never had much in the way of network marketing experience. And now we've just so blessed. And we're so excited to have you on this call. This call is a training. And it's one of 3 trainings. And what the purpose of this training is to help you get to director, particularly in the room of a destination director. It's an event that is happening here May 3rd, May 4th. And it's like a retreat where it's going to be a supercharged time. Those who've hit director or above by the 21st of April, so we had to move it up, you're going to get in the room. It's all paid, inclusive event. Now, when I say in the room, I have 5 other SPDs who hit SPD in less than 12 months. There are seasoned veterans in another network marketing company that unfortunately years ago got shut down. It shouldn't have got shut down. And the head now let's see, the lead Danny McDaniels and his wife are going to be leading. They actually fought the FTC on this over 4 years, went to Washington, D.C., and they won and set a landmark case. And so they have mad integrity. They broke bread every day. They trusted the Lord on this thing for 4 years. So that's just one of the leaders who's going to be in the room. And if any of us have the book of the month, that's Danny McDaniel's book of the month. And so he's one of the SPDs who's going to be showing us who get in the room how to get to SPD quickly. Ready? And so, but here's the beautiful thing. If by chance, and you don't make this goal, you're part of all of us. We're going to bring you up and along, make sure you do hit the goal. So it's a family event, right? And we're excited to have you part of the family. We believe the Lord is excited to have you part of this. We believe you are divinely signed to be in our organization. God's favors on our organization, and to help you really achieve all the more that you've really ever wanted, part that he has really always wanted for you. So we are today equipping you on that journey. We're equipping you to go hit director and actually show you how you can help your team hit director and beyond. And so what I want to do is, we've had so much favor, if you will, in the organization and all the wonderful things that are happening, people hitting ranks. I do want to, Greg, if you could maybe I want to show so far who are, because I'm get a little excited here. Let me slow down. Get a little sip of water. So we have 2 room blocks for those who hit director by the 21st. And the first room block, it deals with a 7-bedroom, beautiful Airbnb on the beach, and where this event is taking place right outside of Destin, Florida, in Navarre. So this is Navarre Beach. This is the first room block where 7 couples, of which now this has been filled, so have made it. And here's where we'll be staying. Yeah, there you go, Josh. All paid for. And so we're excited to have you in the room. And then let me show you where the next room block is, because it's awesome. Also, for those of you who missed getting into this 7-bedroom Airbnb with us, you're still going to be with us, but you're going to be in a beautiful hotel on the water in Navarre, where the rest of the other team, we have other teams who are joining, will be well over 100 in attendance with them, families, and it will be, let's see if the
I've got the list of people that are going to be that have hit so far, that have actually achieved director and above. So did you want me to go through that list a little bit?
Yeah, let's go ahead. And by the way, did you have the pick of the hotel of the
Yeah,
other?
I'll have that right afterwards. Yep.
Okay, alrighty. So thank you, Greg. So let's talk about those who are in who the first round of 7 who've made it. We got Josh and Paula all the way.
Woohoo!
So way to go, Josh. Cheryl and Mike Zink.
Yes.
Congratulations, awesome. Cheryl and Mike. And how spectacular. Brenton and Cassandra Deering. Looking so much forward to meeting you guys in person. Yep. And congratulations. Annette and Robert Arsenal.
Yes.
Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations.
Yep.
And Chuck and Diane Williams met with them this week.
Yep.
Awesome.
And then
Steve and Janet Mormon.
Yes.
Way to go.
So those are people that have already hit that level and have qualified for the trip, which is absolutely phenomenal. And to those for you that haven't qualified, this is the first thing is this, we want your picture here, but the next thing is this is where the next place is. So Ken, if you want to talk a little bit about where the Spring Hill Suites is.
Yeah, the Spring Hill Suites is on Navarre Beach, just down the road from where we're staying. And here is it looking from the water back. And it's just an amazing also facility. And check out the pool of this beautiful facility on the beach. And so those of you who make the first room block, hey, not so bad to make the second. And so it's gonna be spectacular. And but we will all be spending time together when we get into the training that they'll have Friday night. There'll be a dinner and training on Friday night, May 3rd, and then Saturday from 9 to 4 and lunch there too. That is at, I don't think we have a picture of that, but that is at a different venue. It's at oh, there it is right there. Thank you, Greg. At the Hidden Creek Country Club in Navarre, Fort Walton Beach, pretty A area. And so it's going to be spectacular. And they're cutting it short at 4 o'clock. So if those who need to fly out or get out or drive back on that day, they can. And but the hotel is available for 2 nights, the Friday night and Saturday that we're covering. And those on the beach with us who made the first 7, we've got that for 3 nights actually. So, and we'll email out the details on that so that you've got sufficiency to make the proper planning. And all you have to do is get there and we kind of cover the rest. So today is about helping you get there if you're not there now, right? So what I also want to do, because we've had such an amazing week, is I want to recognize others who have hit manager. And it's all actually under Chuck and Diane, one of them, that's one section, but I want to recognize the managers who hit it this week. And this week isn't even over yet. We end the week on a Sunday, midnight Eastern Standard. And here we are with the Fire and Favor organization. And so let's see. Oh, bear with me real quick.
So I think I got the list here too. So hopefully I've got. So
yeah.
We're kind of going back and forth with the people. So as far as the new managers, other things that hit like Chuck and Diane and things like that. But we got a great friend of ours. We literally just got off a Zoom with from South Africa, 22-year-old, met him at a BNI actually in South Africa. So Brendan Duplessis actually hit the manager level. He's on track. He just signed up a diamond yesterday, another silver yesterday. We're going to sign another diamond on Monday. He's actually on track for director very, very quick. So congratulations, Brendan. And then if you want to mention.
And Rudy and Hilda Escobar, we've known them for many years, just amazing people. They are products of the product. They're using it. I mean, in spite of many health challenges that Rudy has had and Hilda, they both had experience with this and they are on fire and talking to everybody. So we're excited to see them hitting director soon as well.
Yeah. And then Josh, if you want to mute your phone, I think the rest of these are people that are on your team, which is pretty cool. So, or if you want to mute your phone, unmute your Zoom. So if you want to introduce these people.
Yeah, actually, if I can, I want to pass the buck to Chuck and Diane.
There we go.
All 3 of their managers.
Oh,
so,
fantastic.
let's do that. But I know you mentioned Chuck and Diane. I recognize them for hitting director. Really excited. We ended up talking about them live like 3 seconds after it happened. So that was pretty exciting to do. So thank you guys for jumping on that. But yeah, Chuck and Diane, if you're on, I'd love for you guys to talk about these 3 that you put in this week.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes,
yep.
Absolutely.
All right, good. Got my little granddaughter here.
Absolutely.
Diane's at a women's event this morning, and I got my granddaughter, and Aaron is next to me. He just went manager this week. Yes. And they were the ones who actually put us over the top to get to director. So Aaron and Jessica Veal are second managers
Mhm.
Awesome.
And first one this week, Eddie Vakulik is a longtime friend of mine. You guys will all begin to know him. He's a big builder,
Mhm.
and he's on fire. I mean, he's patching everything that moves, and so I'm really excited about Eddie. He'll go right to director. Pete and Agnes Hamby. Trust me, you guys will all get to know them. Pete got a little bit excited this week. Some of you are on a thread with us, and he's contacting some of the top networkers in the world right now. When he gets excited, watch out. He built a huge business in Asia for us in a previous business. So super excited about Pete and Agnes. They just went manager, and they're going to they'll be applying this training to go to the top of this thing. So we're really excited about Pete and Agnes.
Mhm.
And then David Spangler, I don't know if he's on your list, but he was our first manager.
Yeah.
That was last week. And
Yeah,
so
unfortunately.
Diane and I got started. She started on March 7th, building a business. And I started building March 11th when you came over, Josh, and did a home meeting for us, kind of launched our business. So we got started March 11th and just went director this past Thursday. And we're just really excited about helping people. This is the first business ever in 30 years of networking that my wife, Diane, has been the face of the company. She's not quite out recruiting me, but almost. I got to run to keep up with her. It's been so exciting. She is patching every tennis player in her league, and they're coming in Grove. So we're super excited. Thank you guys for the great leadership and the system you've put in place. And Josh, Brenton, and I will always be thankful for changing our lives. So thank you. You're the one who started this in St. Louis and got a fire going.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations, everyone. We're so excited about that.
And-
So it's exciting. Go ahead.
Can I say one? I won't take long, but I just wanted to say, there are a lot of people on here that have already achieved those ranks. Some of you are at manager, some of you have achieved director. Get in, jump in. Momentum is happening now, and we want you to be on those vacations with us. And I know, Ken, we'll be talking about South Africa and Europe and an
Different things we can do.
opportunity to incentivize them.
Mhm.
Because I have some of my
Absolutely.
South African partners on, and I also have
Mallorca.
people from Mallorca, Spain. Yay!
Wow,
So
beautiful.
welcome. Yeah.
Awesome.
So we're looking forward to incentivizing you and your people, and we know that you're going to grow this big.
Absolutely. Fantastic.
Absolutely. Thank you, Minna. Yes. From Mallorca down to South America, Spain, Europe, we're one family, and we will definitely be honoring and rewarding you. So you feel like, hey, you're right there with us, because you are. And so we want to make sure you get affirmed and edified and blessed. And because that's way better than working a normal job, isn't it? So a great job. All righty. So I want to open up with just a statement. And I know everybody may have a different belief, and I just want to share that because we've seen too much miraculous in our organization. And I want to tell you that if you really want to find a center of how to really succeed and win in life, then fall in love with the dream maker. Your dreams will come true. And so I'll let you mull on that and meditate on that. And there's a biblical scripture, Psalms 37:4, that speaks to that. So we just want to be grateful and thankful unto God Almighty, the kindness He had to reach out to us, almost like getting saved again for some of us who Christ, be in this opportunity. And so it's an honor to be partnered with you in what God's doing today. All righty. So this kind of dovetails into what I'm excited about and sharing with you today. And I wish I would have known early on. I'm so glad to know now, and even not knowing this, how much we've grown at SPD. And, and here it is that when I first came on, I would sign people up as diamond, right? And other levels, but there's something actually that's more important than signing people up as diamond. It's manager. See, I signed up people early on who were a diamond who actually didn't go manager. And some who, as a diamond, come on and they hit manager, but then they lose it. And I've signed up diamonds who, as we have on this call, Greg and Megan Warmbier, are on their way to presidential director. And of course, Josh here, he's 99%. I didn't sign him up, but he's a diamond, and he's 99% to executive director, and which is super exciting. and just praying he nails it before he gets to Cancun on Monday, you know, and I know you're leaving Sunday. But we've heard, if you've been in this organization, that manager is the play. And literally, it is the most valuable component to the organization. And it is the gold nugget that we replicate. And if we replicate managers, all of us, to SBD and beyond. So that's the most important above everything else. So what I want to share is I'm going to roll a video first. So Greg, if you could roll that little 2.5 minute, 2-minute excerpt, a 2-minute excerpt, that'd be great. So we can open up this training. Thank you. Don't hear it.
Everybody from
Sorry.
people like Kobe to Kevin Durant,
go.
to Steph Curry, and many, many companies and business leaders as well. But you tell this great story. I think it's around a Nike camp or something like that with Kobe Bryant that just blew my mind, that I think just personifies greatness and high standards. So tell us that story.
Sure. Well, I mean, it absolutely changed my life. So I had a chance to meet Kobe in 2007. It was the first ever Nike Skills Academy, and they were building a series of camps around their signature players, who, of course, at that time, Kobe Bryant was the top of that mountain, and flew out to Los Angeles here, La La Land, to work that event. And I had a chance to watch one of his really early morning workouts, which for those
legendary,
absolutely legendary. And for folks that are familiar, those have a start time of 4 a.m. And, you know, and of course, the most impressive part of that is you're talking about a guy that had already reached the mountaintop. You know, he's already a surefire Hall of Famer, multimillionaire 10 times over, NBA champion, MVP. I mean, and he's still up in the off season putting in that type of work. And I remember being, as a younger coach, being shocked at the simplicity of what he was doing. I mean, he spent the first 30 minutes without even having a ball in his hands. He was doing basic pivoting drills and footwork drills. And his workout lasted for a couple hours. And I remember vividly at the end of this workout going up to him and saying, Kobe, I don't get it, man. You're the best player in the world. Why are you doing such basic drills? And I'll never forget it. He gave me a really friendly smile and a wink, but he said in a really serious tone, why do you think I'm the best player in the world? Because I never get bored with the basics. And that changed my life. That changed my perspective. You know, I went into that workout expecting to see some sizzle, some sexiness, you know, some flash. And he just was routinely drilling down on the basic fundamentals. And, you know, ever since that day, that has been my core philosophy for performance, is never getting bored with the basics and working on mastery of the fundamentals during the unseen hours.
Wow.
And
Really good, bro. Like, we're right there already. We're already getting into the good stuff. So,
absolutely.
because
All right.
There we go.
There you go. Thank you, Greg. There you have it. You know, we're all lit. We're all excited. We have like ignorance almost on fire, right? And we're thinking about, man, SPD, what's the magic? What's the advanced next level of training? Well, the next level of training is to excel in the fundamentals. It's just told in this example. In the basic fundamental of going manager, we can't overlook that, but we need to become experts in it. And this training today, I hope you'll find, is to kind of blow you away of just how simple this is. So let's move forward. So I want to make sure we got everybody's camera on, you know, and because what we're going to do is I need to know how many on the team here. We have, you know, 45 plus people on this call. You know, how many of us have enrolled as a gold or a higher? All right, so that's most everybody. And obviously this is a caveat because you can't progress in this company unless you are gold or higher, right? You've kind of like when you're on the airplane, they say, hey, you know, if the oxygen mask drops down, you got to put it on you first. Well, that's kind of like the oxygen mask. You got to model that. So your family and friends do the same likewise. Okay, here's my next question for you. How many of you hit manager or above? All righty. And next question, how many of you are on your way to being manager? All righty. Wonderful. Well, what I'm going to do is I want to show you a quick visual. Greg, if you can pull up the Fast Track Manager Director.
Just double checking.
Yep.
So, whoops, I think I got this before this. So this
There you
here.
go. That's it. And so what we're going to do is let's go ahead and just, if you can blow the screen up just to the manager portion for right now. Thank you. All right, great job. Okay, so here we go. Here is what Kobe Bryant would tell you. Here is the foundation, right? It's you sponsoring personally 2 people on your left, 2 people on your right. Now, when I came in, my sponsor was Joyce Schmidt, and she started sponsoring other people below me. Those don't count towards manager. They count towards a team that's building, but not towards manager. Manager is based on your personal enrollees. 4, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, with a silver kit, 1 sleeve auto ship or above. You is a gold and or above on a 2 sleeve auto ship. That is foundation 1. So, and if you're not a manager yet, okay, you're in the right place, because we have a challenge. The challenge is manager by Monday. Now, manager by Monday really is it's a concept of 10. Today's Wednesday, and you have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's your 4 days. So in 4 days, you're going to qualify potentially for manager. So I'll be using the term manager by Monday. You think 4 days on the 5th, I'm there. Okay. So, and what that is it's just 4 people, which means you probably need about 8 conversations, maybe 10. And so over 4 days, you have 8 conversations, and potentially, boom, you're a manager. Now, beautiful thing is, we all have a different way of how we like to reach out and to connect with people. You know, I like the phone. Other people, Facebook message. Other people will text somebody maybe, or you may walk down and knock on your neighbor's door, meet in person at a Starbucks. Okay, there is no one right way. The right way is the one that's your strengths. You play to your strengths. So what I'm going to do right now is, and Greg, you can go back to the full screen. Thank you so much, all of us. Is we're going to do 2 exercises. Okay, and one's a 60-second exercise. So everybody got to make sure you got your phones out, or not even your phone at this point. You're just going to start thinking. But you're going to think about, who do you know? And I'm going to start on my phone a timer here. So we've got 60 seconds. My timer back up. And so I'm going to ask a question, hit go, and you have 60 seconds to think about this here and how many people you come up with. How many people do you know who could use better sleep? Oh. 30 seconds in. Fifteen more seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All righty. Okay. So anybody get 8 people or more? I see a few hands there. Awesome. So just to give you an exercise, because we also have, you can think a category, how many people do you know have recently been through a surgery? You know, how many people you know who are stressed? You know, how many people you know are retiring? How many people you know are looking to get a second or even a third job? You know, and so when you come across somebody, we all know sleep for many of us has been just an amazing gift. And for some, that actually may be part of your X39 story. So when you come across somebody that you know may have told you something similar, you can connect with them and say, hey, you know, Greg, I thought about you and here's why. Now you have an opening to the conversation. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to play a second game now. It's not even a game, but the game of life is worth winning, isn't it? I want you to look at your phones. And what we're going to do is if you have a Apple or an Android, you want to look at your contacts. And if you have an Apple, you can pull up your contacts. And let me bring that up real quick here. And when you see all your contacts, you see this other side here, all the way down is like a pound sign, and you basically take that down, and then you scroll all the way down. The very bottom will tell you, you know, how many contacts do you have. So, who would like to share with me how many contacts they have? Go ahead and unmute yourself. Let's go ahead. What do you have, Deb?
714.
That's awesome, Spencer.
5,802.
No way.
I have 222.
Wow, that's great, Deb.
9,184.
7,625.
And then I add my 5,183 to Greg's.
Some duplicates, just a few.
I have 625. I've deleted everybody that's not in LifeWave with me.
All righty. So I hope you're getting
5,000.
5,000. That's me. Okay. Well, I have a couple thousand, right? And so some of you may have, you know, 200, 500, 700, you know, and the beautiful thing is you're just looking for 8 conversations, 4 days, find your 4, you to go manager. Does anybody feel more hopeful with that picture? Let me share one other point. What I thought was very empowering, particularly being brand new if I'm coming in. I don't have to think about going to the grocery store or setting up a booth at a 5K race to promote LifeWave, try to get some more contacts. Because guess what? I've got a plethora, whether I have 100, 200, 500, 5,000 sitting right in my hand. So, and here's the fun part. Fun part is you and I, we get to pick who we want to call. Like when I went to work for corporate America, I didn't get to pick who I get to work with. Man, I worked with some really interesting people, to say the least. A lot of stress. But here, you get to pick. And so over just 4 days, 8 conversations, manager by Monday. And here's another something to think about of who you want to pick first, maybe. Think about LifeWave, just pretend. They call you up and say, hey, Greg, I'm going to give you an all-inclusive paid trip for you plus 10 of your family, 10 of your best friends, or 10 of your guests. Now you think, okay, well, who would I want on that ship with me? Who would I want to be walking the beaches, or if I'm going to Santorini, right, and watching that amazing sunset? And me and my wife have been there, spectacular. Who are those 10 people? Well, you're getting some hope, right? And so then the next step really leads us to, okay, well what are we going to say? And here's the magic of the basics. I'm going to give you a framework that you can transfer to the next, and they can transfer to the next. They can transfer to the next, just like this model of 8 conversations for Manager by Monday. Life is like a camera. What you and I focus on will develop. This is the basics. We get better at it. We help others get better at it. And so what are we going to say? Well, it's a 5-prong item, but it's really the first 4 things that you're going to say, hey, here's where I was. This is what I saw. This is what I did. Here's why I'm excited, which is going to lead to the magic of point number 5. Hey, Greg, what in that can I share more with you? And that opens up. So for me, if I use this analogy, I'm talking to somebody, said, listen, I was at a point in my life where I was stressed and felt cornered and just pressured. And a friend of mine called me up, told me about an amazing product that cleared the stress from her life, also cleared 4 years of neck pain from 4 titanium discs in her neck, and saw her transformation, saw it. And so this is what I did. I got started. I became a brand partner. I bought a bit of this stuff and began to mail these patches out. Family and friends began to wear it, began to see miracles occur. My family. And I said, oh my gosh, no one has this product. No one knows about this. And I said, okay, we're in. And here's now where we're going. We're building a team. And this is what I see. I see that I can pay my mortgage off. I can do things to help other ministries. I can live a brighter day, And so, Greg, what part of this can I tell you more about? And you'll be amazed at people, what they'll tell you. Many of us who have already sponsored people, part of our conversation with them, they burped open on us. Hey, my knee's hurting, my shoulder's hurting, I've got this going on and that going on. Well, this framework, getting to the magic of point 5, helps get that person on the other side you're talking to the volley back with you. It's like you're playing tennis. You're going to hit the ball across on those 4, and then bam, question 5, they're going to volley that back to you. And then, your eyes light up when you hear them tell you, well, this is going on, that's going on. You're thinking, hey, I don't want to die a kid.
Hey, Ken, I've got this on a
Yeah.
slide. Do you want me to share the 4 things you talked about?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, please. Thank you, Greg. I'm glad he has my back because I didn't know that was a slide on there.
Oops. There we go.
Here we go. This is being recorded, so you can write this down, though. I asked you, make sure you have pen and paper. This is where I was. This is what I saw. This is what I did. Now, here's what I'm excited about. So magic number 5, it's not on here. I'll write it down. Greg, what part of this can I tell you more about? The context also, when we're excited, it's also to somehow try to be still conversational versus a fire hydrant. Because without this framework, I've been guilty of this. I think we all have, all for the coolest kids. We'll just go on. And this is what happened for me this here, and this happened for that person there, and this happened for this person there, and this happened for that person there, and this happened for, that's my tendency. And am I alone on that? It's how can you not, when you're excited, not want to tell the whole world everything that's bubbling up inside you out of your heart? So now we have a framework of self-control. We know
So we gotta stop.
the next person. Alrighty. Also, now that you have more confidence, you have more confidence, you practice out that, just 8 conversations you're going to be able to have this with, and these with your friends and people that are close to you. So it'd be even easier. Also, remember, sometimes if the phone is heavy, remember this, the answer is always going to be no if you never ask. Make that note. The answer is always no if you ever ask. In the worst case, it is no. You still love that person. They still love you. Right? The best case is, let's do this. Let's go. I want to be one of the 10 in those rooms. Right. So now that you're kind of catching the framework of it's manager by Monday, 8 conversations, 4 people, because you picked, got it right in the palm of your hand, got a framework of what to say. Well, maybe you're already manager, right? So your next step is to go director. Craig showed that 6, the 3-on-3. My wife had me draw this out this morning because she saw this presentation delivered from Andy Hauser, and he didn't have this. And he said, Ken, I need it more simpler. Just make it more simpler for me. Sure, honey. So I said, if you're thinking that way, so are other people. We're here to help everybody. So when you're this model you see here, if you're looking to go director, well, the next thing you got to be, if you've already got your 2 on the left and 2 on the right, silver above, and you're gold, then what's next? You have to have 1 more on the left and 1 more on the right. So you have to have, as a structure, you've got to have 3 on either side. So, of which, at that point, now you're set up, help 1 of those 3 on the left and 1 of those 3 on the right, who are ready to roll, go manager. Right? So, Greg, let's go to the fast track to director now. Thank you so much. Just blow that thing up. Perfect. Okay, so you see in the fast track to director, you see you at the top, and then you count down 1, 2, 3 to the red on the left, count down 1, 2, 3 to the right. Okay, there's your 3 on the left, 3 on the right. Now you're set up, you've got the structure in place, hit the next level, which is director. And how you do that is you're going to help 1 on your left and 1 on your right go manager. If you look below them, you see 2 on the left, 2 on their right, 2 on the left, 2 on their right. You're not sponsoring those 4 on the bottom there, 4 on the bottom right. They are, based on I just shared with you. And so now you can now help your friends win as you as a manager, or any level above for that matter, if you're trying to help your team down below, that person go director. We have a framework now to do that. And here we go. Now, I want to share what happens is that sometimes you're going to have, Greg, go back to the manager right now, the left, just scroll to the left, thanks. we've all had this happen. Is anybody who has hit manager, and then next thing you know, you wake up and you look on your back office and it says you're 87% qualified to manager, you're no longer manager. Anybody had that happen like we had early on? Yeah. It's like, oh, that's not good news. You know, and well, what happened? Well, let's just say I'm going to use some characters from the 70s and 80s, you know, from Sesame Street and let's say Gilligan and, you know, Skipper. And so you say on the left here, you've got Bert and Ernie on the left that you signed up, and then you've got Skipper and Gilligan on the right, right? And, you know, Skipper came in, he has a silver, you know, and he thought he's just going to try it. And he said, well, I'll just do that for 90 days. And boom, here comes day 31, coming in 32. And next, you know, he's no longer active. You have to be on a one sleeve auto ship to remain active. And now he's no longer active. So what do? You sponsor more people. That's one. And we have part of our framework over time, and don't want to overwhelm, we want to keep this really simple. Eventually, you're going to look 20 left, 20 right. Just tuck that away and a sticky note in the back of your mind. So on that journey, you just find your next silver who's going to remain active for gold or above, right? All right, so here's another way to encourage somebody to want to remain on auto ship, a one sleeve auto ship. And I have this, I have one of my team, in my company, I have 18 people working for my advertising company. I've got one of them who still hasn't pulled the trigger on wanting to build the business. And they came in, then they just life and whatever, and then they want to get out. And then they're no longer on auto ship. And they've got so many people being built underneath them. I call them up and say, listen, just you want to be on at least a one sleeve auto ship. Because because at one point, there's money to be made. And if you understand what's happening right now is that you have 500 people and growing underneath you. Right. And so I did this like 4 or 5 months ago. Now he's got over 1,000 people still on one sleeve auto ship. He's got enough points and the activity of points rolling through his organization where he could start making 50 grand a year if he matched it up. And I'll share the analogy that you have a team being built underneath you that's waiting for you when you're ready and will jumpstart you just as long as you're on at least a one sleeve auto ship. So, and that is encouraging. I've found that to be encouraging for others to stay on auto ship. So I also want to give you a real simplified version. And Josh, please don't say anything. It's also, it sounds anticlimactic to sign a group as a diamond, but I want to give you an easy way, because remember, our focus right now is we want to help people go manager. Bring the hope of that so they can go help the next person go manager. And if they come in even at a bare bones silver and gold, we have this amazing program called Upgrade right in the back office. So it helps give people a welcome opportunity to come in versus a push or force, say, hey, why aren't you doing this? Welcome gives the product, particularly I'll say a 29-day window, potentially change their whole life. Boom, run. And I've sponsored people as a bronze and upgrade in the diamond. Right? So here's a scenario that when you're first getting started in your conversations or people, and so now we can have a conversation with a friend, and you know, try. So you say, okay, look, you're going to try a 3-sleeve bundle, right? It's going to give you at least a 90-day run. Also, you have a 30-day back money guarantee. So here's what we're going to do. On day 29, if you're not happy, then we just send it back, get your money back. But if on day 29, you love it, I may have a team already growing underneath you, can jumpstart you. Now you have the foundation, get started. That language, that context will help people get into manager by Monday. And they drop out by then, they've already sponsored more people. So it gets the process rolling, makes it approachable, makes it duplicatable. So say you're a manager now, and your goal now is to go director. So Greg, if you scroll back to the right and see the fast track to director. So now I'm going to use Greg and use your as an example again. So here's Greg. He's a manager, but now he's sponsored one more on his left, one more on his right, and and say he sponsored Chuck there, Chuck Williams, right? They pull out Chuck, and I'm a granddad too. So one of my 9 grandbabies turning 5 today, and after this, I'm going to her birthday party. So we got Chuck here. He's wanting to run, and so now Greg goes to Chuck. Hey, Chuck, I want to, if you get to manager, let's pull out your phone. How many contacts, Chuck, do you have on your phone? Chuck, if you unmute, just tell us how many contacts do you have?
I think it's about 7,000. I don't remember, but it's a lot.
So, Chuck has a lot. But you see the point is that you start with the hope, boost confidence, because sometimes some folks can get overwhelmed. And it's like, and that mountain looks tall, but if we can help get them on top of the mountain, it looks a lot smaller. That's how we start. All right. So the operative here that's happening is we're building momentum. Because when people hit manager, you're getting momentum. And think about, if you're not a manager yet, your goal is to initiate momentum. And you're thinking, I'm going to connect with people. I'm going to initiate momentum. The last thing I'll talk about is just a sense of urgency. Then I'm going to open up to Q&A on this. And so I'm going to use this analogy of flossing. Now, some of you may be expert flossers, or some of you may be like me, where I kind of wait till the last minute, particularly if I'm going to go see the dentist. Thankfully, my teeth are really good, and what I'll do is I'll start flossing a few days before, because that sense of urgency, because I want to make sure, like, hey, I'm going to get a good report when I go see the dentist. I don't know if anybody else has been that way or not. Don't have to raise your hand, but I raise mine. And so, but there's a sense of urgency. Well, that's the same context of manager by Monday. There's a sense of urgency compelling you to take action so you can get people plugged into this. And so this concept of this building block that we've given, this framework with numbers, conversations for people, who's in your contact base, who would you love to sail the world with, what framework of conversation you'll have with them, asking that 5th message question, getting them sponsored in, silver or above. And so here is, now we have a basic framework that we can excel in. And take this, go help your teammates go manager. All righty, so that is training. What I want to do at this point is it's 11:50. Well, the next 10 minutes, if we'll do some Q&A. After that, we'll wrap it up. And then we'll get ready for next Saturday, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. And I'm going to be teaming up also Josh and Greg on that presentation. And then the following is going to be last. That will be in St. Louis, which is going to be spectacular. And but in the meantime, who may have a question, thought, observation, agreement, disagreement, what have you? So you got to unmute yourself.
I have a question. I hope it's
Yeah.
not going to take a lot of time to explain it. So I'm at manager position, right? My team pretty much is doing nothing. And I mean, I can't even get them on a call. So
Okay.
in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, it's time to find new people, right? That's what I should
Yes.
be doing.
Absolutely.
Now I
Right.
feel very discouraged. I don't have 7,000 people in my phone. I
You
have
said you had
200.
you said you had 200, didn't you?
Yeah, I've spoken to most of them. If not, I'm related to them, so they've heard my my thoughts on that, but I just feel stuck. That's my. Then there's people that I speak to that I don't know if it just goes over their head and they don't take into consideration how this patch can help. And I'm like, but I just explained to you what it can do. And I just get so frustrated, was with a friend of mine last night. Her daughter is having, she had a very bad concussion and is now being treated for narcolepsy, and they're putting her on all kinds of medication, and she's got to go for and I just finished telling her what the patch could do, and yet she still says no to me for the patch. So.
Yep. Well, two
That-
things.
Okay.
Now, if you gave me your phone
Mm-hmm.
for giggles, and I started going down through it, do you think I might be able to sponsor a couple people out of it right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're telling me is that you have sponsoring capability in your phone still, right? Yes or no?
Let's put it this way. There's people in that phone that I would like to sponsor. Whether or not they want to be sponsored, that's another situation. But yes, I would say
But there's a believability that in that list, there are still sponsoring people.
yes.
Okay, so then what the next leads to is this word that starts with B is called believe. So you have, and we all go through this. Hey, what you're sharing is very important. I promise you, a lot of other people feel part of what you're feeling. Okay, and we've felt that too, right? So we're all in the same boat. There's a solution, and for some, it may take you a little longer, but you're going to have to develop basically the ability to have belief transferred. And one of the easiest, fastest ways to do that is on the This Is a Team trainings, when you just start listening to the training, right? And begin queuing in to also the Zooms that are occurring during the week, hearing somebody talk about what they're saying. And begin think, am I thinking what they're thinking or not? So you want to align what winners, if you will, who are now winning, who they had a challenge like we did initially, but now they are, what they do, because people will feel your belief and also what you're saying to them. So, and I would ask the Lord, very last wisdom, I'm massive God, because you're a Christian, and he will give it generously. So as you start looking, in This Is a Team, use the Zooms, he's going to show you, oh, yeah, I'm going to change how I say what I say with the belief in what I say. And yeah, I still may come across people that blow my mind and say no, but I'm going to find that people say yes.
Okay.
Right?
Yep. Thank you.
I had a question.
Yes, go ahead, Carla.
So I'm looking at I have it where I was, what I saw, what I did, what I'm excited about. So when you say where I was, do you mean like, so I was having severe trouble with my right and my left knee. Is that what you mean by where I was? Not like I was somewhere and somebody told me about this?
Right. That great point. I'm glad you brought that clarification. I'm going to bring clarification. Yes. It's what pain were you in? That's where you was. which, if that's not proper terminology, that what the was means is pain you were experiencing. That was your situation.
Okay. And what I saw was the ability, my knees getting 95% better, my eyes improving 75%, things like that, my energy level, those
No.
things.
Well, yeah, what you saw was a friend of yours who introduced you to this that probably had some results that you believed.
Okay.
So what you did is you became a brand partner, got on the product, and began to experience pain,
Okay.
which then excited you to then want to become part of building a team, take this, you know, to all you love and care about. Now you see, and that's kind of part of the excitement, is that you're watching lives change, you're making money, whatever it is that's yours. And that leads to the fifth. So then, you know, so-and-so, what part of this can I tell you more about?
Right. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, great question, Carla.
I'd like to share something.
Go ahead, Spencer.
Hey, so for my dad, Ken, a lot of times when I just feel like I don't know if I want to sign this person up and I just don't know if I have the right way to say it. I just reach up to my upline, which is my dad, of course. And I just reached out a call and said, hey, is there a time that we can have a conversation where you can help me follow up with this customer or a client of mine to get them signed in, because I've already introduced the product to them. I've already shared my miracle stories. I made them feel excited. I said, hey, is it okay if we do a phone call later tonight around this time? And during that time, I give my dad a call and say, hey, Dad, or Ken, if you can, or do you have any time around this time? And he said, and most of the time the dad said, yeah, sure. So it only takes about a few minutes, probably say like 5 to 10 minutes. And basically 80 to 90% of the time, they get their questions answered as they take that phone call. So, and mostly they get them signed up. So it's always good to also do that as well. So that's what I wanted to share. So
Spencer, yeah, love Spencer. He's 22 years old. He's working really hard, and a beautiful wife and young 1.5-year-old who's had miracles, who's on the spectrum. And but three-way call is powerful if you need that help. And that's also, Deb, you become an expert inviter. This on a three-way call will help jumpstart your business.
and you can learn from for example, what Ken's saying, like while you're on the three-way call, you're going to learn like the way, his techniques, his ways to answer these people's questions. And the more you do it, the more you're going to kind of mimic that same action to your friends or family and other guests that you may not know. So, and then I have another question though.
Yes.
Since I run my business, I have a lot of like strangers pretty much in my contacts, hundreds of strangers. And if I've done business with them maybe once, twice, 3 times, but I don't have that relationship with them, but I have their contact, what's the best way to like kind of approach that way to them? Not saying, you know, just random, hey, Tom, how's it going? Like, and it's been like 8 months ago since I talked to him, you know, like when you have somebody in your contacts that you're just trying to go down your list and you want to follow up with them, what's kind of like the best approach on that behalf? How would you kind of introduce yourself to kind of to a stranger on a phone call compared to in person?
There's 2 things I would say. First of all, because in your line of work, you're seeing a lot of potential key targets. These are people who have money, they own their own companies, they have boats, or cleaning their cars, or Lamborghinis, or, you know, so it's amazing who these contacts you have. And typically they have some kind of physical problem. They're stressed. If they're successful, I promise you, stressed. And you could take just that concept, call them back up, say, hey, so-and-so, I thought about you, and because I know you're like my dad, and you can just say, I'm stressed. I'm not stressed now, but my dad used to be stressed running his 20-man advertising company. And he found this patch and he no longer is. He's sleeping better. And I thought about you. Is this something you'd like to learn more about? So I just have a basic and then start knocking down, call 50 of them. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to find and pray and ask the Lord, give me wisdom, bring him in. So that would be my recommendation.
Yeah. Also,
and if you've never talked to somebody, that's a little different. And you really kind of want to have some kind of knowledge. This is a relational business, and you're going to find, even if you are in line at Publix or somewhere else, you're going to find sometimes God will bring the need that the product solves out of somebody. You may see him or you hear about him and say, oh, by the way. So that's the other thing.
Yeah, the other thing, if you don't mind me adding to
Yeah,
that,
go
is
right.
they're going to appreciate you thinking of them. Trust me, 100% of the time. I've had people we called that we haven't talked to in 10 years, and they're now on our team. They're like, man, we're so thankful that you reached out, because when you say, hey, I thought of you because of some things, you start sharing your story a little bit. I thought maybe you might know some people again, and again, it might be them or whatever. If you know their ailment, you mentioned the ailment that you've talked about before, or if they say you might know some other people, like yeah, I know tons of people. We just did a Zoom, and the guy says, how much time do you have? Meaning, as far as he has a list of people that they know that have challenges. So yeah, absolutely, it's fantastic.
Great, Spencer Burke. Now it's Spencer Bubinek. How do you pronounce the last name, Spencer?
Bubinek.
Bubinek. Thank you. My apologies.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I saw your hand raised. Sorry, I missed
That's
it.
right. Not a problem.
So
So I'm part of a networking group that focuses on relationships. And one of the ways we use to connect with people is called the BOND method. And it's an acronym that stands for building on common interests, then occupation exploration, and then you can move into needs discovery. And D, you develop opportunities. And what's real effective about this is that everybody, no matter how wealthy they are or not, they just want to connect with somebody. And so by building on common interests, like, oh, well, I don't know if stress is a common interest, but it could be considered that way. But for you, Deb, I thought it'd be good to perhaps visit networking groups in your area, because those are usually people who are looking to better and meet people and do things. And so, hey, that's a perfect opportunity to meet a lot of new people that would love to give you their phone number.
good recommendation, Spencer.
Could he say the M and B again? BOMB.
BON, Bond, like James Bond.
I'll
Right.
put it in chat.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Spencer. Alrighty,
Ken,
go ahead.
hey, I just wanted to add something real quick. I think it's
Yes,
funny.
please.
So we're talking about, obviously the reason we're doing this is, run for director for Navarre. And the analogy that you used earlier is, what if LifeWave was giving an incentive trip? And I just think it's funny that you kind of use that analogy, and that's actually literally the reason that we're doing this training right now. So I just want to make the observation that, you kind of tied those two together. I don't even think you recognize it, but, using that analogy to really try and help you get to director, manager by Monday, whatever it might be.
Stephen, we're excited for you. It is 12:03. if you got to go, you got to go. But but I'm more interested if anybody has questions, because our goal is to help you help your team go manager using this template.
I have questions.
Go ahead, Michelle.
Okay. I'm going to try not to get choked up. I'm sorry. And actually, since you've been on here, I was called an extra today at Amazon, so I didn't get to work today again. I stopped by somewhere else, see if I could work there. I stopped at the bank on the way here to somebody who I have as a brand partner to see how she's a manager at the credit union, and then I came home. So I've done all that since we've been on. And also messaging. I just seen the message come across, and that I love her. She's mine on here. So I got to talk to my brother's sister. Sorry, so I get emotional with this. There's a little more than that. My brother's half sister. And she's been messaging me since then. And I did a 3-way this morning with me, her, and Annette on there. Annette's a blessing. Her name is Melissa. I never spoke with her before yesterday, so I don't know if you guys can help me on this. I sent a little group thing with just to Josh and Mena also. She has so it's like, how do I, and part of what you said, what was it, Deb, that you spoke? Oh my gosh, you had great things that you just said. So I need to go back and listen to that, because I feel you completely with that. But she has multiple myeloma cancer. She's in constant pain. She was diagnosed with this in October, when she thought she had some pain in her. She has some pain in her body, slip disc, went to sciatic, a giant cell tumor came up. I can't imagine living with people, some people live with, that the tumor is wrapped around her sacrum. It had depleted it. She lays on her side. I want to do everything I can. What happens, I call my brother to tell him about it, and he's like, hey, you know, my half sister that I've never spoke to, and he goes like, you think you would help her? She's got cancer and tumor. And I'm like, I said, I can't make any promises, I can't make any claims, I can't do anything, but from what I know from the testimonies, well, so it looks like what Melissa is saying, she hasn't got on the chat with me and that, but she's gotten just with me since then. And I sent her this is it. I screenshotted information like 2 o'clock this morning, sending it to her. Information from there, the patent that's on there. I'm doing those things. A couple testimonies that I've seen. But what she said, so I keep going back and forth with my phone. She goes, "Hi Michelle, only one testimony video came through. The rest were random videos. I'm not sure about that. Can you send me something from that information about how the patch works? The doctor's planning on doing a bone marrow transplant." I mean, she's like excited about this rumor, so I'm glad that it came through. Even what you said the other day, that she's hearing me, and I believe that this will help her. But what can we do to give? She goes to a cancer center in Virginia. She lives in Virginia, so it's like, what part of me gets scared to share because one thing messes up, you know. Then I feel like then it's my fault. But then I know that it will help her. I know that it will help so many people, you know. And
Michelle?
watching all of these things.
Hey, Michelle. We did see your message late last night, and we have been on Zoom since early this morning, but we will get on a message, a call with you and help you out to help your lady, okay?
Yeah.
There is, as long as she's not on chemo, the recommendation is, you know, we can't guarantee anything, but we do have testimonies. So we'll be in touch with you, Michelle, okay?
Absolutely.
With chemo. So I need to confirm that with her. I think she just finished with the chemo, but it's like, you know, how the coming of obstacles that when I'm sharing this and I know confidence is a big one, and I know confidence that, but coming across that way, and you were saying something about believe as I was trying to get to where I could sit down for.
Yeah, but we can help you out with that.
We can help you with that, Michelle.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's no problem. That's what we're here to help with.
Michelle, Greg, they'll help you out. And so, I want to, for all of us, and just listening to the heart of Michelle, who has a desire to want to help people, right? I mean, that's awesome. You care, okay? The challenge is, and this, we all go through this. We see people that were like, we know this will change their life. They don't take it. We're going to go through that. You've got to stay light on your feet with your compassion and sharing. You want to scatter bountifully and not try to sow to everybody. You want to scatter and just say, okay, Lord, maybe another time you help them another way. They're just not listening. It will take you down when you see they're not connecting, and you may blame yourself. Listen, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. The right person, if they heard about this, they're like, oh yeah, give me that. But they're like, well, I don't know, or this, that, and the other. So just understand, it's not you, it's them, always. And so you just do your part, pray for divine appointments, stay light on your feet with sharing, and get on to share with the next person. And the people that are really stuck in your mind, put on a prayer, team, as well, and let God do some bigger things that you and I can't when we're sharing with them. That's my 2 cents.
Absolutely. Yeah, we 100% agree. And then I know Chuck, I would love to have him share. I know he's always got some great advice. So Chuck, do you mind sharing a couple things too?
Well, really, it's funny that Ken said that, because one of the tips I was going to give is you got to detach yourself from the outcome. And, we said talk to 8 to get your 4. I had to talk to a lot more than 8 people. But I detached myself from the outcome, because I know that a lot of those people I talk to 6 months, a year from now, they're going to be in my business or in someone else's LifeWay business, and that's fine. But don't get attached to the outcome. And then the other thing, Ken, that your son Spencer said is so critical. And you can ask Brenton, Josh, Greg, and now Ken, you've got to use your upline. If you're doing this yourself, even if you're capable of doing it yourself, you're doing the person a disservice, because they can't do it themselves at first. They need that help. So if you get them on a three-way call, they see that's the standard operating procedure, then they feel comfortable getting their people on a three-way call. It fries me to talk to people that say they want to go manager, but they never do a three-way call. It's like, you've got to use the team. It's such a powerful team. God's blessed us with incredible leadership. They're not sitting around thinking, they want to help us. So I encourage all of you, as Greg said on one of our early calls, work them. They want to help us. So those two things I'd encourage you. Don't get hung up on the results. Spread the seeds like Ken was just saying. I just want to edify that. And Ken, I want to also edify you. I've been on a lot of trains in my career. This was outstanding. The basics and exactly what people need to do to be successful. So, man, I'm so glad to be on your team. So thanks.
Thank you, Chuck.
May I share something?
Yes.
So that we're taught as scout leaders or those that are lifeguards that you're not to jump in the pool to save someone because they'll take you under. There's actually a system to reach with like a lifeline with a pole or throw, reach, throw, row, or go. Go is the last result. You actually reach out and attempt to help them, then like throw them a lifeline, then row out to get them. You last result, jump in the pool to attempt to save them because they will drown you. So like, that's the concept of you cannot save these people if they have cancer. Like, you can pray for them. You can hand them a patch. You can like hope to help them, yet don't jump in the pool and have them drown you.
Great analogy, Brent. And Chuck, thank you so much with your wisdom as well. And so we're going to think about what I'm sharing as a layer. I want to put the first layer in that has the broadest reach to touch the most common people, the most common, okay? So that we can bring the most common people hope. Because if you would have told me when I first came in, hey, try for 29 days as a silver and return, I'm like, no, I'm just going to sign up as a diamond. It's not relatable. It's not transferable. Okay, so that's one thing. And then what Chuck and Spencer were saying is really another mission critical layer. For this Zoom, we wanted to lay the first layer, but I'm so glad that Chuck spoke up and Spencer spoke up to let you know it's just one layer of others that bring hope, get your four. And Chuck said he had to call a lot more people. Hey, some of you will be in the same boat. You're going to have to keep calling more people, right? And so the thing is in life and how you prosper and succeed is based on simplicity, simple concepts. And then you can then customize it based on your situation. You're customizing it from it. So we know the 8, the 4, but now we go, right? And the beautiful thing is this framework, that we talked about that leads to the 5th point. Hey, what this kind of tale to you is transferable. Now, some of you may have a different way to say that's easier. We want to know it, right? So we're looking for simple transferable components, and I'm excited for our team, and I appreciate Chuck greatly and Spencer, Howdy, my son, and we've come a long way, and so it's an honor. All right. Like I said, at this point, if there's I want to make sure I'm missing somebody, and it's hard to see. There we are. Yes, Cheryl, go ahead.
Hey, Ken, this is Mike Zink.
Mike,
just a quick question. As I look at my contact list, I have a lot of great contacts in other countries. I was wondering if there's any restrictions on where this can go right now.
When you go in your back office, the top left is you click on a flag and it's going to drop down all the countries, 75 plus countries we're currently in. Some I've never even heard of. So yeah, that will be a quick one for you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I'll mention on that too is it's super, super simple to register someone from Australia underneath someone from New Zealand, underneath someone from South Africa, underneath someone from the USA. That's how it happens. It's streamlined, easy, simple. It's just if we can do it in the country, those are the countries we can do it with. Yeah.
Thanks. I wouldn't know that had I not sponsored Greg. And this is, hey, listen, I just want to sum this up if we're done here. Just power of what we're in right now. 18 months ago, one friend introduced me to this. And now from that personal enrollment tree leg, my site, it's over 15,000 people. That's word of mouth, right? I own an advertising company. I compete with word of mouth. Jesus didn't wait till the internet was around, because if you ever analyze how quickly the Bible spread back in the day, it was crazy. Word of mouth is the most powerful form of advertising. I own 3 magazines. I don't take an ad out my magazine and direct mail because we have key targets, because one reaching one, it quickly escalates to significant amount of people. And that's next training. We're going to get into that. The beautiful thing right now is that we all are in a position where it's not really relies on our skill, our effort in part. It relies on the culmination of everybody else's heart's desires and willingness to share. So I was 90 days in, we're making almost 1,000 a week, and we went on a cruise for 2 weeks, and I came back a couple $1,000s richer. And I told my wife, I said, hold on a second, I didn't put my foot on the gas. This is relatable to everybody with our kids, and when we share, this could happen for them. So, we're super excited for where God is taking this, and let's all pray for divine appointments, and let's pray for his favor, pray for fulfillment, because the most important things in life, money can't buy. And it's the satisfaction, like a Deb making changes. All of a sudden, boom, she starts sponsoring people. You can't put a price tag on that. She's with a team who's going to help her find fulfillment in doing that. It's priceless. So, congratulations to everybody in the call. I'm so thankful that I have new friends. I wouldn't know almost anybody in this call had an option for this opportunity. And the same is going to continue to grow for you and all of us. And because God loves this world. And we're part of it here. All right. So, Greg, do you have anything you want to close out?
Nope. The only other thing that was mentioned many, many times is include God. I'm serious. We tell people, Lord, give me the right words. Give me the right words. So when I speak to them, it touches their heart. It opens their heart, open their mind, because we want everyone to benefit from this. And sometimes nothing I can say, but God can do the miraculous, as you know. And so that's the other part is just like, I think Brenton said, or I was sure we said it, but put them on a prayer list. Again, pray for these people, because again, there's a lot of people that need this, not only, we talk about this, but need this community of support and helping people. So thank you, Ken, for putting this together. We look forward to helping.
Sure. Manna, anything else you want to add?
So just one last thing. It's great to have everybody on here, but I just wanted to mention 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. The newest senior presidential directors, Devin and Sarah Robinson, and that's the way that Greg and I learned, together with Ken and Diana, when we got started, is to get on as many Zooms as we could, because different personalities, different ways of sharing. And you will get that from the training we have. We have so much training, so the tools are there. That is how we equipped ourselves to get out there and to share this. It's really, we've got everything we need. So
yeah, that's in 45 minutes.
It's in the next 45 minutes. Invite your friends. I mean, if you've got someone who's not listening to you, that's another way. It's leverage. Invite them to jump on the Zoom. I did that with one lady the other day, and she's blown away. She's getting signed up today. I have not even met her in person. I invited her to Zoom. I knew her from another connection. And so utilize the Zooms. Leverage is important. That is, leverage whatever there is. Okay.
Yeah, because today's training is specifically on how to give a great presentation, and we have the tools.
Awesome.
Already there. So yeah.
That's it. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Josh, you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, a couple things real quick. One, I have had hundreds of conversations with Greg and Mena over the past year, and I'm so excited to finally hug their necks tomorrow in Mexico. So that's very cool.
Amen.
And I think it was two other things. One, Greg, you mentioned about, and a lot of people mentioned, kind of asking for divine appointments. The other part about that, if you really partner with God on this and ask him to put the right people in front of your face, the people that say no, it's so easy not to get upset with those, because they're not people that God wants in your world. Maybe not now, maybe later, but if you're trusting him on that and you're asking for that, then let that flow naturally. And lastly, again, to Greg's point, Ken, you took the opportunity to say, hey, here's some of the leaders and what they're doing right now in the company. And they're seeing some massive growth. And then to take that on and say, hey, let's do this with our team. Let's offer this and pay for this for our team to be able to go down to the beach and excel. This isn't just for you guys. This is for this whole team. So really can't thank you enough for putting this together. It's not just throwing together a quick training here 3 weeks in a row. But coming up here to St. Louis, having this big thing in Navarre Beach and just blessing so many people in their lives. And thank you for everybody here that's investing this time to do the same thing and invest in other people, because you guys all have great hearts and that's why you're in this. So appreciate all of you guys here.
Awesome. Great job, Josh. Great job, Greg and Amanda. Congratulations. Thanks everybody for your input today, because we're all better together. And may God bless you richly today. And get on that 1 o'clock call, get friends and family on that then and part of this. And so we look forward to seeing you next Saturday, 10 a.m. Central Standard, 11 a.m. Of course, we have a Tuesday night. It's going to be interesting. Hopefully we'll get to talk to Josh and Greg and Amanda from Cancun. We said may get in and just share the riches of the blessing of this opportunity. But the blessings, everybody. Look forward to connecting with you again soon.